5 is a huge difference, because in solo queue, depending on the hours of the day, Diamond 1 players will get in games with Challenger players. But realistically, only like once in a blue moon will Diamond 5 players somehow randomly get placed in Challenger games, and that's kind of faded away. That used to happen at the beginning of the season a lot more, but that doesn't really happen anymore. A Diamond 5 0 LP will not get placed in a Challenger game. Regardless, moving on from that, like I said, it does not matter what you consider low or high elo. If you consider Diamond low elo because maybe you're Challenger, or maybe you consider Bronze and Silver low elo because that's kind of the typical range that people use. The reason why people use Bronze and Silver as their range for low elo, the normal or bell curve, the normal distribution of players, statistically speaking, around Silver 2 to Silver 3, that's kind of your average player. However, as I've talked about before, and I'll hit this very quickly, it doesn't always mean that, because there are a lot of unranked players. Because you literally are not forced to play ranked, then it's not always the case. There can be unranked players that realistically maybe could be gold or platinum, but they choose not to play ranked. So the 4 major reasons I have come up with to determine why somebody might be a lower rating than you is: number 1, refined and defined champion pools. The easiest way to explain this is just using myself as an example. I am a Diamond Riven player. I used Riven to get to Diamond. She was the champion I mained, and I essentially one-tricked her at the time. I don't one-trick her anymore. I play a bunch of different champions now, but at the time, Riven was the only champion I played, and I got to Diamond with her. The reason this matters is because I don't wake up in the morning and queue up for solo queue wondering what champions I'm going to play today. I know what my champion pool is. I know exactly which champions that I'm good at. I know which champions I can get away with and ranked. I know who I can play and who I can play at a Diamond level if Riven gets banned or picked or whoever. However, as you probably know, if you are in this rating, or if you have a couple friends and maybe like Bronze or Silver, they have no idea sometimes what champions they play, what champions to main. Their pool is all over the place because, well, maybe they're like a negative win rate in Silver. Clearly something is not working for them, so they don't know. It's not 100% determined. Viper doesn't wake up in the morning and be like, you know what, I don't know what champions I'm good at. He got to rank 1 with Riven. He knows he's good at Riven. He knows he can play Riven at a Challenger level because he's been doing it for years and years. It's never an issue for him what champions he should be playing. And you can see this all the time on Twitch streams. You can see it, people always asking, hey, what champions should I play to get out of Bronze? What champions do I play to get out of Silver? I know which champions. If I made a Smurf today, if I had a Bronze account today, I would buy Riven, I would buy Jace, LeBlanc, Yasuo, and like some other champions, maybe like Syndra or something, and I know that I could get to Diamond just as I've been doing on my Smurf. I know I can always get to Diamond with those champions, but a lot of people don't know. So that is a huge barrier to entry, finding which champions work for you, defining it and refining it, making sure that you know which champions you're good at, and making sure that you're the best you possibly can be at them is the most important step, in my opinion. The next reason is attitude towards the game, and the lower and lower rated you get, the worse this becomes. Now, this isn't attitude in-game. This is not talking about in me saying that Challenger players are not toxic, Diamond players are not toxic, Platinum players are not toxic. Of course they are. There are toxic players in every single rating, but the attitude towards the game, not in-game, not towards their teammates, actually towards League of Legends, is a lot worse in low ratings. And you really do see this all the time. You see it on Reddit and in Discord servers, on Twitter, wherever a low-rated player can complain about the game, the state of the game, wherever that they can complain about it. Not just things like tank meta, not just things like the, oppressive champions. Literally everything is a complaint. This champion's OP because blah, 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 blah. This champion's broken because blah, blah, blah. Remove this champion from the game, etc., etc. So many players have the attitude that they must complain about things. They must think that it is ridiculous that this champion exists in this state, and they never figure out what the counterplay is because they either just ban it or just they're so tilted by it. Maybe they dodge. I know somebody that dodges every single time a Yasuo is on the enemy team. Is Yasuo annoying to play against? Sure. Are you allowed to not like playing against Yasuo? Of course you are. You're allowed. I hate playing against Fizz and I hate playing against Renekton. I hate those two champions, but do I dodge every time I see it? Do I spend my entire life complaining about why his kit's OP, why Renekton shouldn't have sustain, why it's stupid point and click stun? No, I don't spend my entire life worrying about that. I try to figure out what the counterplay is. Realistically, unless you are a very, very high rated player or a pro of some sort, you can't really complain about balance and OP champions. The reason I say that is because although there may be an OP champion, although Maokai might be incredibly stupid right now, getting nerfed next patch, just dumb OP, a silver player does not take the best advantage of that, does not use his kit to the full potential. There is counterplay to a silver Maokai. There might not be counterplay to a challenger Maokai that knows what he's doing, Maokai one trick, or like a professional jungler who knows how to jungle Maokai, but there's definitely counterplay to a silver one. Number 3, this one's kind of short, but IP runes and the champion barrier, the barrier to entry to the game, is quite high right now. This won't be a problem next season, but currently it is an issue. Actually having tier 3 runes, because runes are expensive, having a proper rune page, having a bunch of different champions to try out. A lot of people have to wait for the free week rotation to figure out which champions they want to play, etc. This is only an issue if you're pretty new to the game, like maybe you started season 6 or even this season, early season 7, then this is an issue for you, and this might be a reason why you're stuck. If you're like hard stuck and you've been in low rating for like since like season 2 or something, then this is obviously not an issue. But for new players, this is a genuine issue, and honestly, there is nothing you can do about it right now. All you can do is play more games and hope that you get enough IP soon, but the new rune system coming out next season will not have, there's no IP for them. Lastly, experience and understanding. Now, this is the most important. I did say that the most important thing for you as a player is to refine and define your champion pool, but this is the most important to understand. The single reason above all other reasons that League is so popular that people can make a living from streaming this game, even if they're a jerk, even if they're toxic, does not matter. The reason challenger players, despite not being entertaining or being a jerk whatsoever, can actually make a living is because they're good. That reason alone is what gives League of Legends legitimacy. Let's put it like this. Why is Scarra better than me? By far and large, Scarra has been the most influential person for me and has helped me out the most of all the streamers. Originally, when I was silver, I was a Diana player. I was like a Diana one trick, and I found his content and I found his stream through just watching Diana VODs, Diana versus whoever, Diana versus Victor, etc., etc. I found his his YouTube and his replays. So I started watching his stream, and he has been really informative. He's helped me out a bunch over the years, and by far he's been the most influential, like I said. He was a former pro, and he's been like challenger, like really high elo, pretty much ever since he started playing the game. So why is he better than me though? Firstly, when Scarra started playing, he already had MOBA experience. He's talked about this before. He used to play Dota, he played Heroes of Newerth, he's played plenty of PC games before, he's been a competitive gamer before, he has that background experience. For me, well, I did not play. This is the first PC game I ever played. This is the first, League of Legends is literally the first competitive PC game I've ever played. As well, Scarra started playing ages ago, way back, even before Season 1, I believe is what he said, and he's been playing ever since then. He's a grind lord, he was a pro player, he was a competitive player, and that's given him an edge. He grinds out the game, he knows what he's doing, he's had competitive experience, and that's why he's good at the game. But why am I bringing all of this up? Well, wouldn't it be bullshit if I was better than him? Wouldn't it be complete bullshit if I was better than him? No, seriously, think about it. Wouldn't it be bullshit? I started playing in Season 5. I've never played a PC game before. I've never played a competitive PC game before. When I started playing, I had a shit PC, and I've probably put in a 10th of the hours in this game as he has. He was a former pro, and he's put in the time. He's grinded, and he spent his entire life around, or like the last couple years of his life, just centered around this video game. He has spent his life dedicated to becoming the best League player he can, putting out the best content, understanding the most about the game. That's why he knows more than me. Somebody who's a casual gamer who logs maybe 5 to 6 hours a week, plays a bunch of ARAMs, plays normal games, if they were better than me, that would be bullshit, because I play ranked, I put in the time, I grind solo queue, and I take this game seriously. I take this game as a competitive player. That is what gives League its true legitimacy. There is really no RNG, despite what you might say about your teammates, despite what you might say about like crit chance or whatever. There is no RNG. People don't get lucky who climb to the top of the ladder. It's because they're good. Lastly, the way I want to close out this video is give you things that you can do. So I've given you the entire explanation as to why somebody might be better than you, as to why somebody might be low elo, etc. Now I want to tell you what you can do, what you can put in. I like to use this acronym, and this is what I've told a bunch of people who have actually asked me, what can I do to get better? How do I actually improve my gameplay? I use this acronym CARS, C-A-R-S, and the way you can think about it is cars move forward, cars drive. So move forward. What CAR stands for? C, control your attitude, control your mental. The first thing that's important is learn not to tilt off the face of the earth. Tilt is a big part of this game. Mental capacity, mental ability, mental stability is huge in League of Legends. This is just as much a mental game as it is a mechanical one. And it's hard. It's not like challenger players don't tilt. It's not like Faker doesn't tilt. Of course he does. Tilt is going to happen, and it happens in pretty much every competitive game. But the more that you let it not control you, the more that you overpower the tilt and try to just play through it, learn the workarounds, then that will give you more success. A is adapt to changes and learn from failures. Changes in the meta are important, and you do need to adapt to them. There's a reason why certain things are a certain way. There's a reason why certain things are meta. Don't go back to Season 3 and try things that worked in Season 3 because that's not the state of the game anymore. Learn to adapt to what happens. If your champion gets nerfed, that's okay. Just learn a workaround. There was a huge LeBlanc nerf however long ago. People thought the champion was fucking gutted, just terrible, and then a brand new build with the Gunblade came out and she became even stronger after the nerfs. Or if you don't want to view it like that, you can do what Dopa does. He says that he never touches a champion as soon as they get nerfed because he picks back up a new one. So if you are naturally canny at learning new champions and picking up new champions, adapt to that. If a champion continues to get buffed, maybe like Nasus continues to receive buffs, his new buffs are pretty good, learn how to play him, learn the workarounds, learn when you can pick him, learn when you can't pick him, etc. You have to learn how to adapt to the meta. R is refine your strengths. Now this is important because you need to learn what exactly you're doing well and what you're doing wrong. Take what you're doing well and stick to it. If fighters are what you're good at, if you're really good at fighters and bruisers and divers, then stick to that. Learn new champions. If one gets buffed, let's say Vi got some buffs in a few patches, then maybe pick up and learn Vi as soon as she gets a little bit better. If other junglers get nerfed, then maybe pick up Rek'Sai or something. Whoever, it doesn't matter. Learn your class, learn what you're good at, and stick to it. Lastly, S, seek more knowledge and information. And I've always talked about this with Riven. This is one of the best things that you can do, and this is how I learned. Essentially, I used to struggle against Jax as Riven. That was something that was like a matchup I always failed at. So what did I do? I literally typed in Riven versus Jax on YouTube, and I watched a bunch of different VODs. I learned what I was doing wrong. I watched everybody who was playing against Jax, Box, Viper, Revenge, Wings of Death, whoever it was. It didn't really matter. I just wanted to watch the matchup. Because in League, you don't control who you play against, and there's so many different champions, if there is a matchup you struggle against, you don't always get to play it. You don't always get to play against that matchup every single game to get more practice. However, if you do have a friend that's willing to work with you, maybe he's around your rating or hopefully even a little bit better, then you can learn from him. You and him can go into a custom game in 1v1, Riven versus Jax, or whoever you struggle against. Maybe you play ADC, or you play mid. Maybe you always lose to Ahri. Have your friend play Ahri, or get somebody to coach you against Ahri, or whoever, whatever you have to do. Always be willing to learn. Even the best players, even Bjergsen talks to other players to try to learn and learn from their mistakes, learn from his mistakes, learn from what they're doing well. Seek out more knowledge. It can't hurt you. It literally cannot hurt you unless you have the biggest ego in the world and you think no matter what you're doing, everything you're doing right is right and you're a perfect little snowflake. Don't think like that. Don't actually think like that. Always look out for new information. Drop your ego because your ego does not matter. Anyway, that will wrap it up for this video. I'm sorry it ran a little bit long, but I thought this is a good stopping point. This is a good way for me to finally finish off this series where, I was talking about a lot of the psychology around League and why the ladder kind of works out the way it does. Riot Games does not control the ladder. No matter how the game was balanced, no matter how it works, the ladder would work out the same way. The players who are more dedicated, put in the time, and have more natural skill will climb. The League of Legends ladder is no different than the Counter-Strike ladder. It's no different than any other ladder that's not like Hearthstone, that's not, kind of based on luck or card games or whatever. Any competitive video game, the players who put in the time, natural skill, dedication, etc., that is what determines who gets to the top of the ladder. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please hit that like button. It really helps me out. Hit subscribe for more, and I will see you guys tomorrow.
This is my buddy Justin, and this is the sales totals from his dropshipping-based Shopify stores. That's
Okay, so this is coaching for a Silver 2. He was originally a support main, and then he switched to Riven. I think he said we did a few one-on-one sessions, and I believe he said he has about 100 games of Riven, so you can kind of get an idea of his experience level. Normal AD runes, 5% flat and 5% scaling CDR, and everything is normal. I believe he takes Fervor. So against Nasus, he starts Longsword, which is fine. There's nothing wrong with that. The thing about the Nasus matchup is not only can you and should you bully him in the early game, you need to. You must. Eventually, he's going to have Tabbies, Frozen Heart, Trinity, or Iceborne Gauntlet, and he will outscale you. You will not be able to 1v1 him up to a certain point once he gets enough stacks. But against Nasus, you can just shit on him so hard in the early game that it doesn't even matter. Right off the bat, this is a terrible ward by Nasus. This is awful. Like, I don't even know what is this ward? Why did he place this? Does he not realize wards only last for 60 seconds? Like, this is terrible. Nah. So you already have an advantage. Obviously, you don't know that he did that. Wait, what is going on? Wait, what the hell? Is that, wait, why are people placing their wards? Is this bugged? I'm so confused. So good early level punish. You already have an advantage. Obviously, you don't know that he did that. Wait, what is going on? Wait, what the hell? Is that, wait, why are people placing their wards? Is this bugged? I'm so confused. So good early level punish. Could you have stayed one less auto there? I just wanted to see if you could have stayed one less auto so he doesn't proc grasp. You start off with the auto. Oh, you canceled your first auto. That's why. I was like, that I felt like you should have won the trade even harder. But yeah, you canceled your first auto. But that's okay. I mean, that happens. It's not like I've never messed it up before. It's okay. He started Corrupting Potion, which means you just, like, you have so much ability to duel him. You need to walk up. No. You need to walk up even farther than that. You need to be, like, looking at your XP bar and understand which creep you're on, because you could have positioned yourself a lot more aggressively here. So you see that you've killed the first 3 creeps, you've killed all the melees, and then you've killed these, you're going to kill these 2 caster creeps here. So you just need to be able to recognize this. You kill this caster creep, and then as soon as this melee one dies, you will hit level 2. And that's just the kind of thing you need to know. You need to think about that in the back of your mind. Sometimes if you see this and your creeps are killing this really fast, you don't even really want to go for the last hit if that means you can walk up farther. You want to be positioning yourself on this side of the lane at the moment. There's no threat. As long as you're not attacking him, you're allowed to stand right here because the caster minions won't hit you unless you're hitting him or the caster creeps themselves. So you can stand right here. And that's what you should be doing since you're going to hit level 2 first. But you don't immediately walk up. If this were me, as soon as you hit level 2, I just Q onto him. Yeah, right there. You need to be going in. Right there. You walk right up to this, you should be going in. You can get him down to 1 bar, maybe even flash. You don't win that trade because you use your shield too early. You didn't block his Q with your shield, and you missed an auto. You just have to be a little bit smarter about when you use your shield. He hits 3 first, and he's gonna, yeah, you had to back off. So he zones you off the cannon, which sucks. But he is starting to go a little bit so it's not terrible. You can walk up here, contest. Wait, you actually went 2 points into your Q? Don't do that. Maybe you didn't mean to. Maybe you don't normally do that and it was an accident, but you want to get all 3 of your abilities at level 3. Don't ever do 2 points into Q. That's just not very good. You definitely want to have all 3 abilities once you hit 3. Maybe you don't normally do that or is an accident, but don't ever do that again. So when you and I did a one-on-one session, there was one thing that we talked about, and that was taking shorter trades for the for your own benefit. This is a great example of when you could have gone for a much shorter trade and cut your trade off, which means you don't continue to aggress. So right here, he walks up. So first off, the first Q that you used is not amazing because you used it to get close and you don't end up hitting him with it. Oh, I guess you did hit him with the edge of it, but okay, so it's okay. And then you walk up, stun, auto. You want to leave this already. Maybe one more Q at most, but you see how you let him, you continue to go and let him E and Q you, even though you shield the Q, which was good. Nice shield, by the way. But you probably should have at least backed off a little bit, waited for cooldowns again, and then continue to trade. Like, do this smaller trade where you you ensure that you take no damage whatsoever, and then that's when you can continue to like bully him. But it was really good that you shielded his Q. It made it so the trade went a lot better than it probably would have. So definitely a good shield by you there. You're both down to no potions left. He has natural sustain because of his passive. Oh, he just uses Q. You want to go in there. If he uses his Q to farm, that's when you want to trade. Because he can't Q you back. Ah, you missed your stun. Rip. Alright. You need to walk up. Like, yeah, if it just think about it like this. If they use their major cooldown, the thing that's just wrecking you in trades, yeah, think about it like that. If he uses his Q, then whatever you're shielding, you can shield his E and still be fine. So he will do literally no damage to you, and he has no way to mitigate your damage, aside from his W reducing your attack speed. So he's missing, he pushes the wave, or you push the wave, which is fine. You should just go back here. Just recall. You already pushed the wave, just go back. Nah, you didn't need to even walk that far. You wasted, like, it's nitpicking for me to say that, and a lot of lower rated players might say that's super nitpicky. Why do you even say that? But wasting that 4 or 5 seconds there is important, and you just want to cut that out. As soon as you push in the wave, you just want to go back, because it's going to bounce back to you anyway, because the entire wave is crashing in the tower. It will bounce back to you. What do you buy? You buy Phage? Honestly, Phage is fine against Nasus to begin with. Just the move speed and the HP is pretty good, and obviously it goes into Cleaver, so that's fine. So you just didn't punish hard enough. Oh, we're TPing? Okay. You can get some kills here. Okay. You ended up helping your team turn that, actually. It wasn't too bad. I can't believe Nasus TP'd. It was really late, but okay. Just push the wave and go back. You could have got a, oh my god. You could have got a ton of CS there. Just be more patient. You don't want to dive that. Don't take that, Lee. Lee Syndrome. No. Don't dive a Nasus. This is bad. Wait, he used his mana. Wait, he used all his mana. Oh, gosh. Here we go. Oh, my god. Okay. All right. Well, I don't really need to explain anything that happened there. Whoa, you bought 4 pots? Don't. Whoa, that is way too much gold. Homie, that is 200 gold on potions that you're not getting back. Don't do that. Don't. Oh my god. 4 potions. Just buy refillable, dude. Just buy. I mean, at most 2 potions is fine. I mean, you're not even like losing. Don't. Whoa. Wait. People buy that many. The ADCs buy 3. You don't need to buy that many potions, my dude. Don't buy 4 potions. That is so much gold. That's like, and especially because you just missed so much CS like that. Nah, I mean, I would have bought refillable. I don't even think you need 3 potions, but at most I would buy 3. No, don't buy that. Don't buy that many potions. Ever. Don't ever go back to lane. Don't ever buy 4 potions in the shop. You should push this lane in so you don't get ganked. Okay. Take a decent trade, but you're just setting yourself up to be ganked right now because you're not pushing the lane in fully. You're going to get ganked right here. Sejuani's going to come through lane. Oh, yeah. And you have no shield. This is going to go bad. And no flash. Yeah, you're dead. Most likely. Yep. Yeah, if the lane is just frozen right here, you need to try to push the whole wave in if you can. And you had the opportunity to. If you push this whole wave in, then it'll bounce back for you, so it's not just stuck here, and then you're not so vulnerable to being ganked, which is the most important part. Do you know why you lose these trades so hard like this? Do you know why this happens? I hope you do. Because there's a couple reasons why you lose these trades so hard and it doesn't work. Nasus is level 8 and you're only level 7, so his base stats are really high. He already has a Sheen, and you spent so much gold. Unless you had like Cleaver at this point, there's no way that you would even be able to out damage him. But you used your first Q on the creeps. You used an E and a Q just to get to him. Now you have no damage. You can't fast combo him because you're down to 1 Q and you already used your shield. So all you have for damage here is WQ auto, whereas now you can't run. You have no shield to protect yourself, and he just bops you over the head with Sheen procs. So you're never going to win these trades. If you have to use all of your mobility just to get to him, then you don't have any damage. If you Q, if you use all 3 Qs just to get to somebody, well, then you're out of damage. So you just got to be way smarter about how you trade. See, that's much better. You see how you start that? See the difference between, and you even got his ult. Nice. You see the difference between that being smarter about how you did it. One thing that I would always used to do, because like all these players and all the high rated Riven players would tell me, you can animation cancel E with Q. I would always do that. I would always use my E with Q. And unfortunately, that's not the best way to do it. Just because you can animation cancel with it doesn't mean that you should do that, because that means you're wasting your shield at a bad time. Now that you got his ult and he's completely you could look to dive this guy. And no, oh no, he has flash. You should pressure this guy really hard. He needs to be threatened by your dive. If you're going to buy all these potions, might as well use them as well. You should stop his recall if you can. Yeah, oh, okay. You can see the inexperience coming out, though. You've missed your W like 3 times just because, I mean, you're still switching. You're a support main gone top lane, so, and you don't have like a million games of Riven or anything, so you can see the level of inexperience. You're going to miss cannon for that trade. Not worth it. You can't kill him anyway because you only have half HP. You just lost the cannon for free. You should be prioritizing the farm a little bit more than trading, because it's just really hard for you to kill him at the moment. You don't have that much damage since you don't have a cleaver yet. You only have 107 AD, and he's not even building AD. He built Sheet, and he has 98. So, see if he recalls. Okay, shove in. Yeah, fast combo. You need to just get the fast combo down for sure. It's definitely hard, but you recently switched over using from, you were using attack speed runes, and now you're using AD. So, just getting used to that's important. You're going to lose this. He has a full Iceborne Gauntlet. No, don't walk up to that. You're so dead. No, he TP'd back. He had gone back and teleported and had a full Iceborne Gauntlet, and you walked up to him looking to trade. He has, this item gives him like 60 armor, and he already had gone back, and you're sitting on a Phage and Kindle Gem. Like, this dude's going to clap you. There's no way you would ever be able to out-trade him there. You didn't go back yet. You shoved in the lane and then just walked. You walked like down here and then walked immediately back to lane and tried to trade with him when he has a full Iceborne. That's never going to work. Ever. You just have to understand the situation a little better. You found him in the jungle? Okay, nice.